The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply. USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. My voice is holding up.
It's good.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make it through the night. Yeah, we'll see.
I got games this weekend.
Ooh.
I'm a little nervous. We're doing a new tournament, and I don't know. I'm nervous. Yeah. Don't know what to expect. Don't know what the competition is going to be. So, you're
gonna find out real quick. You'll get pressed. Yes. All right. Before we jump into today's podcast, we have a couple announcements, right?
We do. We're looking for coaches who belong to large groups, because we want to come out and host a coaches clinic for you and all of your coaches. We're going to walk you through everything we know, how to set up a system, even how to run a program that is, that's profitable, even for a nonprofit, right? You don't want to lose money. So we will come out, fly out wherever you are, run a 3-hour clinic. Free. So sign up, go to coachingyouthhoops.com, enter that drawing. Again, coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic. Get you and your group on that list today. And
there you go. You beat me. I didn't even get to jump in.
And this fall we are launching a brand new platform at Coaching Youth Hoops. Brand new practice planning software, dynamic. So it'll come preloaded with our practice plans, but you can adjust them. You can adjust them for your team. You can change the drills. You can add in offenses and defenses. But again, if you just like the simplicity of Coaching Youth Hoops, that will still be there as well. Get on that waiting list today. We're going to offer special discounts for any coach that is on that wait list. coachingyouthhoops.com/wait list.
All right. What's today's topic, Coach?
Well, this one comes up a lot. And, it's something that I often think about too. How are you teaching individual and leveling up individuals as well as the team in a team practice? And what I mean by that is, let's say, Steve really needs to work on his outside 3-point shooting. Well, right. I'm a sniper on the outside and I can hit threes all day long, right? But you need some individual work on that. But, as a youth coach, I got one practice, maybe 2 practices, an hour and a half to work on that. And I know what you're going to say, Coach. Have that person work on their own, right, in the driveway and really push that. But how do I change drills, constraints, tailor a drill to an individual, maybe
How do you
teach
make it
this
not
up
boring? You're
skills?
saying, how do you make it not boring? That's kind of what you're saying a little bit,
No,
right?
well, I think it's more, how do
Vanilla.
I,
You don't want vanilla ice cream for dessert every day.
well, again, I'm teaching, we're doing a shooting drill. You're better than me at shooting. So you're gonna naturally, your team or you as an individual, it's one-on-one, you're gonna beat me on that shooting drill. Well, I want all my teams to shoot really well. I know they're not spending enough time on their own. So as a coach, though I just suck it up and say, well, Steve's good at shooting and Bill is not.
Right.
How do I focus on an individual and the team at the same time so they're both leveling up?
Well, and I think
And
teams
can
are
you?
I think you can. And kids are really good. There's been studies on this. You put
Mhm.
you tell two kids to go out and play two groups of kids to go out and play baseball. They make rules that goes back to constraints. They'll make rules to
Mm.
make it as balanced as they don't want blowouts either because it's no fun. If one team
Mhm.
is always blowing out the other team, it's no fun to play.
Kind of like golf with a handicap then, right? In that case, if we're doing a shooting drill, you may spot me 10 points, right?
Well, I do that often with my team. I'll have my
Mm.
starters and then I'll have my next group and I'll give the non-starters, they'll start out 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a simple constraint. It ticks them off.
Yeah.
Because they go, we don't need the point. I go 2-0. So you should win then. And then it kind of puts it, I'm trying to balance the drill
Yeah.
or whatever I'm doing a little bit. Yeah.
Which brings up a topic of, another topic, which I'll write down. But this idea of starters versus non-starters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother
That's a
thing
whole
we
nother
can talk about
podcast.
too. But okay. So you're changing the constraints a little bit to kind of balance it out. That definitely is. How many? You have assistant coaches. A lot of youth coaches don't. Um, but are you is your assistant coach? Are they taking kids to the side individually, one-on-one, working on individual things?
When we're not, yes. And a lot of that is we do a lot of that in pre-practice, but we'll do that. I don't like standing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So even if we're going 5-on-5, unless someone's drinking or doing something, there's always something going on.
Hmm.
Because that variation, it's like I'd rather use that time. And sometimes there has to be lessons taught too, like stand next to me. We're doing this. Here's how we're doing this. Here's why we're doing this. What do you see here? It's that some of those conversations can be very beneficial, I think.
Well, again, going back to the subject here, which is leveling up an individual at the same time, folk on and understanding an individual need, and still teaching
Scaffolding.
to
You're
the
scaffolding. You're
yeah.
scaffolding.
And it's tough.
It is
Again, if I
hard.
only have an hour practice, 2 hour practice, once or twice a week, am if am I teaching team skills or am I teaching, let's just call them individual fundamentals? And
Right.
what's the balance there? I have recently switched to, you know what? Limited practice time. I'm just going to teach them fundamentals. They'll figure out how to put the little ball in the big hoop by setting screens, maybe not even setting a screen because I didn't teach that, but um, especially at the younger grades, but they'll figure it out. They'll run
Right.
around crazy, but if they can dribble and at least shoot, the ball's going to fall,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I never teach them an offense, but I'm focused on individual skill building, do you think that has merit? And can I be successful that way at
Yes.
the youth level?
Yes. I
Mhm.
do. I do. Um, it's about skill development. It's why Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's probably a little bit of where he went to college too. He could, did he want to go to Duke or,
Yeah.
Virginia Tech and sit on the bench, or do you want to go somewhere and play
Hmm.
and work on his individual skill set at that point? It's the same with, you're dealing with a set of eight kids. How can you all develop all of them at their different levels?
Yeah.
You know, um, It's hard. Trust me, from someone that's taught for 35 years, really hard to do, and especially hard, maybe even harder for non-teachers. Like, how do you scaffold? How do you teach the smartest kid in the class and
Yeah,
the
true.
kid that's
That's the same
struggling the
thing. Yeah.
most? It's the exact
Hmm.
same thing.
Yeah.
So what you try to do is you try to challenge the high one somehow. You try to pull up the bottom one, and then most people are within a standard deviation of the mean. So it's anyway. Sorry, talking about stats.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, and I think you're right on. I mean, again, one of the big changes that I did with my practice and practice planning over, when did I start it? It's in the fall of last year. uh, at our quote unquote team practices, we did a lot of, the things you would think about, learning an offense, learning a defense, right? More of the team stuff. I then switched to skill development. And what I mean by skill development is, again, it wasn't a 1-on-0 skill development. It was, breaking people up 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 2 versus 3, 3 versus 2, right? And working on whatever the individuals needed, but also what the group needed. Um, if it's ball handling, if it's shooting, it was never, it was, but again, in a traditional sense, it was more focused on skills than it was on the team, right?
right.
Now you're asking, well, how did that translate? I think I told you this the other day. The one team that I've been experimenting with the most, I think we won 2 or 3 games prior to that. And after that big switch, we only lost 3 games, I think it was. So complete turnaround. And the girls were laughing last night about it. And that, hey, coach, do you know what our average loss is? And of course, I knew the answer, right? And I'm like, oh, what is it? You know, that is like 2 points. Like,
Really,
so,
that's coaching.
yeah.
That's coaching.
So, yeah, right. That's all them.
It
Uh,
falls on the coach if you're losing
The
by
fall,
two,
yeah,
an
there
average
we
of
go.
2 points.
When they lost, that was all on them. They're not working hard enough, right, Coach? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But that was the big change for us, is just more focused on in the traditional sense of skill building. That's what we focus on versus the team stuff. And what I learned then, that the team stuff was a lot easier to teach once they could easily put the little ball in the hoop, you
Yeah,
know,
it is.
right?
It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Other
So
things,
yes,
coach?
yeah. Well, I think the answer is yes. You can do both. You have to get creative, I think it does boil all down to skill development. Again, not one on air, but coaches, think about how you can pair the better kids together, how you can match skills, I should say, work on drills that will give you that smaller skill building that's needed, and then your team stuff will become that much easier in the future. So
All right.
all
What
right.
else, coach? Share the.
Yes, coaches, hey, we're going to share these tips and many more when we come out to you if you win our coaches clinic. So we want to offer you guys an opportunity to win a free coaches clinic. So go to coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic, sign your group up, and hopefully you'll have a chance to win a free clinic from Coach and I. We'll fly out to you. This is live in person. You will have us there. You can shake our hands, right? And we will do that clinic for you and all
Coach
of
will
your
sign
coaches.
autographs for you.
I
It
will,
will
yeah,
be.
I'll sign
Yes.
autographs wherever you want, t-shirts, whatever. So he's joking, of course.
We'll have to get
But I will
t-shirts.
sign
We
if you
should have
want it.
t-shirts. Why don't we have t-shirts? We
We
should
got to
have
get
t-shirts.
t-shirts done. You're right. Yeah.
We should do.
The other thing is we're launching that new platform that you heard, if you're listening to this podcast for a while, in the fall. But get signed up on the wait list now. You will be the first to know and the first to get access to it. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com/waitlist. It is a dynamic practice planning system that comes with all of the learnings that we have accumulated over the last 20 years. So.
And go over and Coach always forgets this one. If you have any questions or anything go over to our Facebook group, Coaching Youth Hoops, and leave them there. We always get a lot of our questions from that spot, so that's always good for us.
Of active community.
It is active, yeah. Not quite as active right now, but it's pretty active.
Yeah, it's the off season, so to speak. I mean,
yeah, it is. All right, Coach.
Never an off season, Coach.
There's no such thing, right? Where is it?
Okay.
We attempt to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Marriage. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Have a great week. We'll talk next week. Bye.
All right. Sounds good, Coach. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lowe's knows you take pride in every project. So take on what's next today with a free Select Craftsman hedge trimmer or leaf blower when you buy a 20-volt push mower. That's a $119 value on reliable, high-performance Craftsman tools you trust. For the power to do it all, build, repair, restore, maintain, go with Craftsman. Available at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 5/21 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.